Good morning, YouTube. Episode 45, Lost Boys movie poster finale. Let's rise and shine and finish this up. As you can see, it is a little bit further along since the last time you saw it. I said I was going to film it, but I had to do it. I had to get it over with. I'm done. I'm tired of it. Let's run this intro and finish this.
You are watching Velvet Vanitas.
Alright, good morning. Welcome to the studio. I am King Kavo, and this is the final episode of me working on the Lost Boys movie poster on Velvet. Like I said earlier, I went ahead and did some work on it, and I didn't film it. I just was in a situation where I was going through quite a bit, and I needed to do some things, and I couldn't always film over the last couple days. And I knew that if I just waited to film it, that it would take even longer before I got to finish it. And so I just went ahead and did some work. You've had plenty of videos here. I think this is the 11th video to watch me working on this. I'm sure you're not really going to be upset about the fact that you missed out on me doing some lettering. What can I tell you? This project, it kicked my ass. You know, there's no other way to say it. You know, I like to think of myself as someone who is pretty good at doing portraits. I'm not the best, but you know, I'm pretty good. And where I have flaws in my work, you know, I like to think that I can, you know, bring something to the table artistically, and so that, you know, even though it might not be 100% accurate rendition of that person or people, that at least the painting is beautiful and still looks good, you know. I'm used to doing portraits on regular canvas. This is the first time I've ever done a portrait on velvet, and it is hard. You know, there's nothing else I can say. This was the hardest portrait thing I have ever done. It tapped into my psyche. I would dream about it at night, the places and things in this painting that didn't quite work out well. Aspects of the painting where, you know, I had to think about what the rules were for painting on velvet, and, you know, just all these different things, you know. And that brings me to today's topic. I got a short video today for the finale. And today's topic is getting your head right. You know, you kind of, you know, no matter what, no matter how you go about anything in life, you got to be in the right headspace to do anything. If you are not mentally ready, if you're not mentally prepared, if you're not mentally in the game, you can make costly mistakes. And I think that's what I did here, is that I rushed certain things because I thought certain ways, I felt certain ways. There's some things that I didn't pay enough attention to because I was paying attention to other things. I would say that when it came to this painting, I really didn't have my head in the game. But I feel like at the end of it, I'm extraordinarily happy. I feel like it is a win. At the end of the day, when I'm finished with this painting, I feel like it is a win. I feel like I captured every aspect of the likenesses that you need to see in order to feel like it's that person. When we get down to the Lost Boys where their faces are about the size of a quarter, it would be hard to do that on canvas. And it is 10 times harder to do it on velvet. So I'm really just happy that they look like faces and not like just glops of paint. So for me, you know, I was talking about what the percentages are or whatever. I'm going to say that this is 90%. I'm going to give myself 90% on this. I think there are 10% of the mistakes that I made on this that don't necessarily make it obviously 100% accurate, but I think any person walking into a room seeing this painting on the wall will 100% know what it is. They're not going to be confused. They're not going to have things about the painting that is going to bother them other than subtle little details. I had the conversation with my wife, and she told me that if 100 Lost Boys fans walked into a room and saw this, that they would all 100% agree that this is badass. And so I'm taking that 90 as a B plus, and that's really where I'm running with it, that the B plus stands for badass. I wish I could give myself an A on this, but there are places where I feel like I let myself down and places where I struggled that I shouldn't have and that I made it more than it needed to be, and so I can't quite give myself a better grade on this. But I am thrilled that I managed to finish it, and I'm thrilled to be sharing it with you guys finally. This is the last little touches on it, and you know, the little bit of editing here and dropping this video, and it is currently Sunday night, October 30th, 2022. So that means that tomorrow this will hopefully be up on YouTube and be a Halloween special. And so I would like to wish all of you guys a happy Halloween. I would say do the best in trick-or-treating and having a good time and keeping those old traditions alive, watching some horror movies and, you know, having fun with your friends and just a wonderful time. I know that it's a Monday, and I know that most everybody sort of partied and did their trick-or-treat thing over the weekend. But you know, tomorrow is the big day, and so for those of you who aren't really doing much after the trick-or-treat, you know, I hope you guys tune in and watch this little bit of video here, 17-18 minutes worth of the finale of the Lost Boys. And I'd like to thank you guys for watching, tuning in, sticking with me throughout this, listening to me rant, rave, and blather on about all kinds of stuff and nothing important. You know, I really, when I sit down to do the voiceover, I really don't think about what I'm going to say. I just sort of turn the button on and let it go until I run out of tape, so to speak, because I don't want to try to go according to a script. You know, I'm not a very scripted person, so I feel like it's, you know, fair enough to be fresh off the top of my head and let it live in posterity forever. That being said, the only thing that I can really say at this point is that I am going to be starting another project. In fact, painting this has inspired me to get backing into, not that I ever really left, painting portraits. It just gave me, it made me realize the difference between doing portraits on canvas and doing portraits here, and being able to accomplish what I want to. And I realized, like I said, I'm not the best at doing portraits, but I like doing them. And I have a project where I'm going to be painting a whole bunch of my friends from Facebook, picking them out, seeing who I want to paint, and painting them. And then I'll be posting their process, that whole thing, on a channel called Mean Muggin, M-E-A-N, Muggin, M-U-G-G-I-N-G, on YouTube. It's Mean Muggin. But for Instagram, you can hit me up on Mean Muggin, and it's Mean, M-E-A-N _Muggin, M-U-G-G-I-N. Hit me up. You can follow me there and see the progress on this whole portrait thing that I'm going to be doing, and seeing how that goes. This is certainly the last video for the Lost Boys movie poster. I'm not sure if this is going to be the last Velvet Vanitas video. This editing program that I use shifted over this hiatus, and some of the things that I used I cannot use anymore. And so I'm not sure that without certain things that I would still have the same level of enthusiasm to do things. I'm not sure. I'm not saying no, so stay tuned. I got plenty of more Velvet ready to go. I have a Velvet skateboard that I still want to do. So I'm going to tell you, stay tuned. More than likely I will do another video, but it won't be on the same sort of regular basis that I had been. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to light a fire under the Mean Muggin channel and really just try to blow up doing portraits where I'm not having to fight the medium to get it done, and just sort of have fun with it and not be under pressure to not make a mistake, and be able to correct things and do things. And because my whole love for portraiture and everything, I'm going to be following the format sort of that they have for the All Docs, the show that they have in England, Portrait Artist of the Year. They get a whole bunch of artists together and they paint these famous people, and they give the artists 4 hours to do it, to paint a portrait. And so what I will be doing is trying to complete portraits in about a 4-hour time limit, sort of like them. I'm not going to be filming all 4 hours, and I'm not going to hold myself to the 4-hour time limit, but I am going to be holding myself to completing the painting in one day and editing it and all that in one day, so that I will be hopefully more prolific in painting and putting video out, because I feel like that is way easier to do than painting velvet. Let me tell you, it is not easy to paint velvet. It takes a lot of coats of paint to get the paint on there to the density that you want. It takes drying time is a whole different thing, because you can go back, what you would think is dry, and you can go put wet paint over it and it'll re-wet. You know, it's weird. Painting velvet is not easy. Sometimes you kind of got to wait a whole day really for it to dry so that you can come back and work over it, just to be sure. And that was one of the things that I found out, you know, in doing this most difficult thing I've ever done on velvet, on portraiture, painting this bad boy right here. And I can tell you that I'm glad to call it done. Thank you guys for watching. I greatly appreciate it. I'm going to drop it on TikTok. I'm going to drop it on Instagram, and you'll see those things at the end of this video. I'm out. And here it is, the final image, the Lost Boys movie poster. Sleep all day, party all night, never grow old, never die.
Blind boys,
Life's fun to be a vampire.
Immortal fear, that voice so clear through broken walls, that scream I hear. Cry, little sister. Come to your brother.
I would like to thank you guys. This is the TikTok that I put up. Dropped it on Instagram. I think it showed up on Facebook too. Thank you guys for watching. Art by King Kavo. Catch you guys on the flip side.
Blue masquerade, strangers look on.
Aなたと私は完璧に等しい。
あなたと私は完璧に等しい。
Ouch! Watch where you're poking that, mister.
Assimilate algorithm resistance is futile.